This episode is sponsored by Petracolp. Hello and welcome back to Film Pro Productivity and Success, the podcast that helps film professionals and other creative people to live a more focused, effective and hopefully happy life. My name is Carter Ferguson and this is episode 150, Embracing Optimism, Unleashing Your Potential Through the Power of Positive Thinking. You cannot have a positive life and a negative mind. Joyce Meyer, unquote. Today is not just any episode, it's our 150th episode. That's right, we've shared moments, insights and tips through 149 other episodes, and it's been nothing short of an incredible journey with you all. And from our very first episode to today, we've grown together, evolved and continued to push the boundaries of what it means to be a creative in today's fast-paced world. Each episode has been a step on a path that we've paved with ambition, dedication, and perhaps most importantly, a strong belief in what we can all achieve. In celebration of this 150th episode, I'm diving into the power of positive thinking and why it matters if you are going to find success. So get ready to light up those neurons, spark that inner joy, and fuel your creative fire as we explore the strategies that will help you stay positive and productive no matter what comes your way. My motto is water off a duck's back, meaning don't let negativity weigh you down. Perpetuate positive thinking. Jinkx Monsoon, unquote. Now, this wasn't going to be the theme of today's show at all. It was going to be an interview show with 6 Scottish film producers that I've worked with and that I think are pretty awesome. And I had hoped to get a piece of productivity advice, just 2 minutes or so from each one of them, but it really didn't go as I had hoped. I got the first reply back really quite quickly, within an hour or so, and that said they were busy and couldn't do it. No problem, I thought. I've got 5 more dice rolling on this one. But some 7 weeks later, I finally threw in the towel. In the end, I just wasn't able to lure one single Scottish producer onto the show. So I decided to cut my losses and throw in the towel, as it was simply too time-consuming and too difficult to make the show that was in my head work. And although I felt burnt out by that time and I gave up on that angle, I knew that I couldn't let negative feelings about it affect my spirit. I always try to remind myself of the quote by Wendy Mass, which I'm sure you will recognise. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. So I'll let the experience play out as water off a duck's back, as that was the stoic way to respond. Choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed and you haven't been. Marcus Aurelius, unquote. I'm sure that had my timing been better and life been easier all around this year, I would have been able to pull together the show that I was hoping for, or something very close to it. Combined with the fact that many people in production simply don't like to be in the spotlight though, I understand completely why what I had in mind never came to pass. It's that negative experience that led me to the idea that I should do an episode, especially as we are about to embark on a new year, about staying positive when things are looking grim. Things are looking pretty grim in the world right now, and life is pretty tough for most of us, but we cannot allow ourselves to be dragged into a state of negativity. Once you replace negative thoughts with positive ones, you'll start having positive results. Willie Nelson, unquote. Positivity is more than just a feel-good word. It's a powerful tool for transformation. It's about seeing possibilities, embracing opportunities, and maintaining a hopeful outlook, especially in the face of challenges. But let me clear the air here. Positivity isn't about ignoring the negatives. It's about confronting them with a mindset that says, I can handle this. I've called this episode Unleashing Your Potential Through the Power of Positive Thinking, not because I have some airy-fairy idea about positive vibes, but because going in the other direction can really only lead to failure. You must conquer negativity if you are to conquer failure. Positive thinking can be a significant catalyst for success in various ways. And the first I want to discuss here is empowerment. Taking responsibility is a cornerstone of empowerment. It's about owning our choices, our responses to challenges, and our paths forward. So I accept the responsibility on that one. The truth is that my original idea for 150th celebratory episode, a special, wasn't really a very good one. I was going to abandon, in fact, the format I've found success with up to this point and drag some poor unsuspecting producers on to give us all some life advice when they neither listened to nor really had any interest in the show at all. They're working professionals with plenty of other things to worry about in their life and work. It was an interesting idea, but it was half-baked, if truth be told, so I'm not at all surprised that it failed. When we take responsibility for our failures, stop blaming external factors and start looking inward, we unlock a level of control and self-awareness crucial for growth. And for us freelancers, this means recognizing that our success isn't just about talent. It's also about the decisions we make every day, from how we manage our time to how we react to feedback. Don't respond to negativity with more negativity. Just put your head down and prove your critics wrong. Frank Sinatra, unquote. Positive thinking also helps you approach problems more constructively. It enables you to focus on solutions rather than being overwhelmed by the hurdles. This problem-solving attitude is crucial for overcoming challenges and finding innovative solutions. Positive thinking also grows our ability to bounce back from setbacks. When you're optimistic, you're far more likely to view failures as opportunities to learn and grow rather than insurmountable obstacles. And if harnessed, it can give you tremendous drive. In times of great stress or adversity, it's always best to keep busy, to plow your anger and your energy into something positive. Lacocca, unquote. Positive thinking also contributes to better health and lower stress levels, which can improve our overall well-being. And this improved health means that we can put more energy and focus into our goals, leading to greater productivity and greater chance of success. That's the name of this show, don't you know? Productivity and success mean a lot to me. That's why I like to bring this stuff to you. I certainly feel my stress levels rise as I plunge into states of negative thinking or worry over what might happen if things go badly for me. When you think positively, you're less likely to be clouded by unnecessary worries and fears. In turn, this clarity that you'll find allows for better decision making as you evaluate options based on their merits rather than out of fear or pessimism. Just one small positive thought in the morning can change your whole day. Dalai Lama, unquote. A positive attitude is attractive to others, making it easier to build networks and relationships that can open doors to new possibilities and collaborations. I'm always trying to push positivity out into the world myself. I certainly find it difficult sometimes, but I try whenever I can to do so. Positive thinking leads to higher levels of motivation and energy. When you believe in your ability to succeed, you're more likely to take initiative and put in the effort required to achieve your goals. And one of my favourite quotes about this is by Wayne Dyer. He said, "With everything that has happened to you, you can either feel sorry for yourself or treat what has happened as a gift. Everything is either an opportunity to grow or an obstacle to keep you from growing. You get to choose," unquote. A positive mindset then helps build self-confidence, and when you're optimistic about your capabilities and your future, you're far more likely to take on challenges and pursue your ambitions with conviction. And remember that success breeds more success. Positive thinking will invariably lead you to positive outcomes, which further reinforce the optimistic outlook. And that creates a cycle where positivity fuels success and success enhances positivity. It isn't just about expecting the best to happen, it's about adopting a mindset that allows you to leverage your skills and resources effectively, overcome challenges, and seize opportunities. For many, negative thinking is a habit which over time becomes an addiction. Peter McWilliams, unquote. Okay, so let me just stop for a minute and say that I do recognise that maintaining a positive mindset is a tough thing to do, and it requires consistent effort to make it happen. It's not the sort of thing you can just switch on and that's it there. So I suggest reframing your mind on this one, reframing the problem. Positive thinking for me isn't really about thinking more positively. It's really about thinking and acting less negatively. If you think about your mind as a garden, right? And in this garden, negative thoughts are like weeds that can overtake the whole place if left unattended. It's not enough to simply plant new flowers, positive thoughts, in amongst these weeds. The real task lies in first managing and reducing the weeds to make room for the flowers to grow. So, one thing I would suggest you do to try and help reframe your mindset in this is to become more aware of these negative thoughts or these weeds in this analogy that I've decided to throw in here. Recognize and acknowledge when negative thoughts crop up and look for potential patterns in this. And that's the sort of thing it might very well be writing down, by the way. I'll keep on saying this. If you write something down, you're 42% more likely to make it happen, whatever you're trying to figure out. And I think taking note of when or why you are having negative thoughts might be a good starting place to getting rid of them. You can approach this observation without self-judgment, just as a gardener would calmly write down the presence of weeds or just deal with them as they come up. Acknowledging them, you see, is the first step in effective garden management, or effectively clearing your mind of negative thoughts so you can start to replace them with more positive outlooks. And if you're not sure where to go next with all of this, then let me extend this garden analogy a little bit further. You can begin the process of weeding by introducing things like positive affirmations. I did an episode on this before. And this is kind of like planting flowers in the space you've cleared of weeds. Phrases like, I'm capable of growth, or I find strength in challenges. These are the sort of things you can put in there to help conquer these negative thoughts in this mental garden. And the goal here isn't to pretend that the weeds never existed, but really to cultivate a healthier and more balanced mindset. And if you're taking on a best year yet strategy this year, I'll talk about it a little bit later on in the show, these positive affirmations will come from the exercise of building your year-long strategic plan, and you can start to seed them in as you do that. One other thing worth trying perhaps is the practice of gratitude, because over time you'll notice that your garden is becoming more harmonious and a more pleasant place, and reflecting a mindset that values growth within you. So you can start to enjoy the more positive things the more you get rid of these negative thoughts. And this approach fosters a kind of mental landscape where positivity can bloom alongside the inevitable challenges, like a well-tended garden thriving through the seasons. I did work hard to try and get the garden analogy to work. I think it kind of does work. Hope you appreciate the effort put into that one. But yeah, reframing the problem in your mind so that you're thinking and acting less negatively is what will become that more positive outlook as you move forward. As I wrap up on today's enlightening journey through the realms of positivity and success, it's clear that these two are not just close companions, they are inextricably intertwined, dancing a graceful waltz through fulfillment and achievement. A positive mental attitude is the spark that ignites the fire of success, fueling our ambitions with optimism and resilience. It lights the path in the darkest of times, turning obstacles into stepping stones and imbuing every challenge with the promise of growth. Remember, your success is often shaped not just by what you do, but by how you think about what you do. Your call to action today is this: to not talk or think negatively for 1 hour. If you think that you're going to do so, stop and reframe your mind back onto the positives before continuing. There's a basic law that attracts like. Negative thinking attracts negative results. Conversely, if a person habitually thinks optimistically and hopefully, his positive thinking sets in motion creative forces, and success, instead of eluding him, flows towards him. Norman Vincent Peale, unquote. So before I wrap up for today, let me just give you a little reminder. I mentioned earlier on the Your Best Year Yet strategy, which is a book by Ginny Ditzler, which will help you to plan the year ahead. This is a good time of year to get into it. It kills off any failures that go along with just setting a New Year's resolution by forcing you to work hard on a strategy which you will follow as the year proceeds. I talked about it a little bit earlier. It's very, very useful if you're a creative who's got that high level thinking that I talk about within the show, who's trying to improve their own life and their own career. And if you go back to episodes, I think it's 81 and 82, I've not got it written down, but I tweeted it the other day. I put it on Instagram or something like that. Episodes 81 and 82, check it out and start to plan your own best year yet. The book is not a lot. It's something like £7.99 on Amazon UK, similar in the States. Similar price worldwide, really. There is a Kindle version, which is £5.49. I would honestly suggest you go for the paper version because you will end up reading it and rereading it. But if you don't want to do that, go back to episodes 81 and 82, listen to them. There's good show notes for them, and that will help you to plan. And if you're struggling, fire me a message. You can send me a message through the website, through filmproproductivity.com, or just grab hold of me on Twitter at FilmProProdPod. You can send me a message there. On Facebook at FilmProProductivity, or go to my personal Instagram and you can message me there at fight_director. For now, though, thanks again for listening to the show. I really do appreciate the time you give me here. Hopefully you found this one useful. And as you move into the coming year, keep that positive flame burning and let it guide you to the heights of your own unique success story. I have faith in you. Keep on listening to the show. There's plenty of back episodes now that have hit 150. There's plenty to delve into. If you're ever stuck, if you ever need a little bit of motivation, go to filmproproductivity.com and I'm sure you'll find something there to sort you out. Epictetus said that the key is to keep company only with the people who uplift you, those whose presence calls forth your best. So that's another hugely valuable bit of advice that goes along with this episode. Do try and get rid of, cut off the negative people that you have in your world, cut them off and surround yourself as best you can with positive people, because if you do this, then everything that I've talked about here today will become a lot easier. I'll leave you today with a final word from Bobby Darnell, who said, "Negativity is cannibalistic. The more you feed it, the bigger and stronger it grows." Now take control of your own destiny, keep on shooting, and join me next time for Film Pro Productivity and Success. The music that you can hear right now is Adventures by Ehumitsu, and the executive producer of this series is Chris Somerville of Frontline Kit UK, uniform hire for TV and film. You can view the show notes, the full show notes for this episode, only on the official website at filmproproductivity.com, but you can follow the show on Twitter, X, at FilmProProdPod, or on Facebook at FilmProProductivity. Please continue to support the show, my friends, by subscribing, spreading the word, and leaving an awesome review.